Working with this machine for quite a few hours and learning everything about it myself, I have learned a few extra things along the way that I didn't realize were on here. So for example, when you pick a stitch, there is actually something underneath this stitch width little bubble. If I touch it, do you notice that it changes to an icon that looks like I can go left or right? Now this stitch that I've picked is actually 9 millimeters, so I can't do anything with it just yet. But I'm going to reduce it down so it's much narrower. And how about for fun, let's just get it to be kind of more proportioned. Okay, so now if I touch this particular icon, the stitch width bubble, now I can move it left or right. I'm changing the needle position of where that line is going to actually be stitched. Now there's a time, and here's why I'm mentioning this and why I'm so excited, is not all machines have this, number one. Number two, when I'm following, maybe using a foot with a line here, that's sometimes a line that I have marked on my fabric. I can put my line of my foot on that, and then I'll know, for example, that that stitch, if I've moved it all the way over, would be lined up with that line. Now you'll have to adjust your stitch, and not all stitches could be adjusted fully to that line, but maybe to one of these other little marks. Do you see the red marks to the left or to the right? So that means that any stitch on the screen, and again, I'm going to reduce this one happens to be extra wide, could be shifted left or right. So depending on what you need to use to guide it, sometimes sewing it down the middle of the foot is not the best option. You need something more visual to keep it aligned and sewing where you want it to sew. So keep in mind, and we were just talking about density too, this also had an option underneath this bubble that if we have thinner thread, for example, for this, it won't fill in all the way, but you can actually adjust the density and make it more stitches. But did you notice the stitch did not change length? It only changed how many stitches are filled in there. So adjust as, gosh, this machine is so adjustable. So no matter what thread you're using or the desired look that you're after, your machine has the capability to follow your lead. And that's what makes something so easy happen when you have the right tools.